What's going on, my fellow A-plusers? It's your boy, Adam Perez. I'm back once again, this time with a brand new movie update, as we're going to start talking a little bit about Sony Pictures' upcoming film, Madam Web. That's right, it's set to go ahead and drop this upcoming Valentine's Day on February 14th. And Sony, over the past couple of weeks, have been really pushing and marketing and promoting the hell out of this particular movie to certainly go ahead and get that hype machine rolling. I've seen several teases already. I've gotten the opportunity to see some of the promotional materials of some of the Madam Web photos in stores and things like that. So it is certainly ramping up and trying to definitely get people out into the theaters. And so I found it kind of interesting that this week we got the opportunity to finally see some of our stars in their costumes for the very first time, as Sony is certainly not shy about showcasing that to us, maybe reminding people that despite not really seeing a lot of the costumes in the trailer, this certainly is still a superhero movie to a certain extent. For those of you who are not familiar with Madam Web, let me give you a brief synopsis of the film. It reads as Cassandra Webb is a New York City paramedic who starts to show signs of clairvoyance. Forced to confront revelations about her past, she must protect three young women from a mysterious adversary who wants them dead. As of right now, there are theories and speculation out there that this movie could be very Terminator esque, if you will, in the sense of somebody coming to kill somebody before a child is born, and that child perhaps being Peter Parker. Now, Emma Roberts is in this movie. They haven't really given away who her character is, but there is theory and speculation she might be playing Mary Parker. I believe Adam Scott, who's in this film, is going to be portraying the character Ben Parker as well. So when you see the trailer and you see this Ezekiel guy coming after these women or possibly trying to kill somebody, I am kind of curious if he's trying to maybe kill a baby Peter Parker, and these three women are certainly trying to stop that from happening. Regardless, though, the main focus of this video is to go ahead and highlight the costumes that we've gotten the opportunity to check out. And so this past week, we've gotten a couple of posters and things like that, but I really want to highlight one in particular. So let's go ahead and bring this up. This was an exclusive image that dropped as of today, as we get the opportunity to see some of our female stars finally in their costumes for the very first time. A lot better glance, if you will. So we'll go in order here from the very far left. This is going to be the actress Isabel Merced with the mostly white costume on, or silver, with the black spider on her chest. She's playing a character named Anya Corazon. I believe this character might have popped up very briefly in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, but her hero name is Aranya, or I believe she might have had another time in the comic books as a Spider-Girl as well. So we get the opportunity to finally see Isabel Merced in her costume, and Isabel Merced is going to be rather busy. She just got cast in the upcoming Last of Us Season 2. She's also going to be playing Hawkgirl in James Gunn's DCU, so the idea of her putting on a superhero costume, this might be her first time in this video, or in this photo, but she definitely has a big career certainly ahead of her. But that is in fact Isabella Merced, again as Aranya or Spider Girl. In the middle, the character that I think is probably going to get most of the shine in here, this is Sydney Sweeney, the actress Sydney Sweeney, playing the character by the name of Julia Carpenter. This is her as Spider-Woman. Now, this is the Spider-Woman that aside from Jessica Drew, I think I personally grew up with this Spider-Woman kind of back in the 90s. I think she might have been a part of the West Coast Avengers as well at some point in time, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong in that regards, but this is in fact Spider-Woman. Now, Julia Carpenter eventually in the comic books does go on to become sort of like a second version of a Madam Web as well, but this is Sydney Sweeney portraying Julia Carpenter as the second Spider-Woman. And then last but not least, to the very far right here, we get the actress Celeste O'Connor as Maddie Franklin, also playing another version of a Spider-Woman as well. Now, if you look at the trailers very briefly, It does look as though she also has arachnid legs that maybe pop out of her back. Maybe she's got some sort of pack behind her that we certainly don't see. But if there's anybody that really embodies a spider, it's definitely going to be Celeste O'Connor here as Maddie Franklin, Spider Woman. Now, look, man, I'm actually a really big fan of these costumes. I've heard some people complain about the idea that they look like CW Arrowverse spin-off costumes and things like that. I personally don't. I think these costumes really pop on screen. Again, these are just simply still images that we're getting. And so if anything, I usually try and hold my full judgment until I actually see the movie, because that is in fact the medium that these costumes are certainly supposed to be seen in, right? In live action, in movement, in different types of lighting sort of thing. So honestly, I think photos, leaked photos, even high definition photos probably don't do these costumes justice until you actually get the opportunity to see them on the big screen. But just looking at the costumes here, I think they look pretty clean. Honestly, I'm a really big fan of the design, but it really will come down to what they look like when it comes to the movie. There was recently a promotional poster that had all of these characters together, including Dakota Johnson as Cassandra Webb. I'm getting an opportunity to see even her costume also. I believe it was from like maybe a China trailer or a Japanese trailer. I can't recall off the top of my head. I will say the promotional artwork for getting an opportunity to see all these ladies in costumes, I necessarily wasn't the biggest fan of. I don't know who edited that or photoshopped it together, but it looked like it was something that was fan made. I don't think the quality was certainly that great, but when you release this photo and this one comes out after the terrible photo, it definitely gives me a change of mind, and I certainly look at this much more as an improvement than what we certainly got earlier in this week. So when I want to say I'm hyped for this movie, but the truth of the matter is that when it is a Sony's film with just Marvel in association, and Marvel isn't really doing most of the heavy lifting like they've been doing in the Spider-Man MCU films, I've been very down on the Sony picture Marvel character films that they've certainly been utilizing. But there is a part of me that really is interested in the concept of this film. I think the idea, the use of all these female characters and their costumes would be really appealing. I want this movie to certainly succeed, but there is a part of me that's really tampering down my expectations. Every time I want to get a little bit eager for the movie, I gotta take myself back and just remind myself this is a Sony picture movie. I can't get too hyped until I actually see it for myself. But again, I never want any movie to fail. I want every movie to certainly succeed. So we'll see how it comes together. But first look for me when I look at these costumes, I think they're fire. I think these women look marvelous in this costume. The color schemes look great. Both of the Spider Women in here look great. And look, the Isabella Mercade costume looks all right, but I'm here for the two Spider Women, honestly. But I think they look marvelous in these particular photos. But again, these are just my A+ opinions. I certainly want to know yours. What's your level of anticipation for Madam Web? Are you hyped for it? Are you like me, keeping your expectations low? Regardless of your expectations, do you like the costumes? Do they pop for you? Do they look a little bit downgraded? I think they look perfectly fine, honestly. But again, these are just my A+ opinions. I want to know yours. Let your thoughts be known in the comment section box below, and we'll talk about this later on this week on our episode of A+ Hero Report live every Sunday for you guys. So until then, do me a big favor as always, guys. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and keep it A+. I'll talk to you later. Bye.